Alright, continuing on to the next drawer, I've got the 8-pound, 16-inch handle Wilton Bash. Definitely worth the money. Just a plain old Tecton brass hammer, nothing fancy, works just fine. I love the snap-on dead blow hammers. You don't have to. Pick whichever one you love the most. You know, you gotta test drive them. You got to use them. If they don't feel good in your hand and they're junk, throw them away. And, you know, I like the anti-vibe version of just the little mini, like, drilling hammer, but this is just a Harbor Freight 4-pound version. It works just fine. I've got the Knipex spring steel insert snap ring pliers. Probably should get a bigger set, but, you know, I really only use the 4, you know, inside, outside, curved, and straight. Definitely worth the money. And then, you know, I've got the sideways wire crimper stripper things, so definitely worth getting pistol grip and a sideways version, because you'll be fighting with this one when you should be using that one, fighting with this one when you should be using that one. So just get both, makes it easier. Just a strap wrench, you know, big filters, anything like that, welding clamp, wire brush, terminal cleaner, various random scrapers, a right angle adapter. You know, just get one. You're going to use it. You will definitely need it sometimes. But, you know, no need to go spending, you know, $100 on a snap-on one. Just a temp gun next to that. And then I've got the Knipex set of, like, the basic 4. But in my opinion, the only ones worth any money are the diagonal cutters and the Knipex Cobras. A little bit overrated in my opinion, Knipex. But, you know, they're certainly good pliers, and they're certainly worth the money at least. But, you know, I prefer like Klein or Irwin makes better versions of like Linesman's, you know, needle nose and whatnot. But your mileage may vary. However, whichever brand you like is whichever brand you like. Just buy that and stick with it. And then the gear wrench set of the straight, curved, small, medium, and large hog ring pliers. You use them, don't really need them right off the bat if you're starting out, but definitely something worth investing in later on. A couple strap wrenches, and yeah, the blowtorch, the mini Power Probe micro torch. This is the best torch. It's better than the snap-on one, I'll tell you that much at least. I don't know about like the Mac or if any of those other tool trucks makes them. All I had was a snap-on and a gear wrench guy, so I don't really have any of the other stuff. And then I've got just some old Klein tools, vice grips, and then pretty much just all Milwaukee or Crescent, other ones. You don't have to go that fancy with them. If they work, then stick with them and use them, you know, until they wear out and break. Then you can go buy the Eagle grips from Malco or buy the Snap-on if that's your favorite flavor. And then just plain old Crescent wrenches. Or nut rounders, I guess, you know. Yeah, just some extra organizers that I bought thinking I would use them, but didn't. So whichever ones you like, they were kind of nice, but I don't know. Still not done, still not fully moved in. And then I've got like the Tecton 3/4 set of impact sockets. They're definitely worth it. They're like 7/8 to 15/16, or no, 7/8 to 2-inch. And yeah, definitely worth it if you're going to work on trailers or semi-trucks. You're going to run into stuff you need that on all the time. This, what is it? Yeah, 1834 Astro is hands down worth the money, even just the plain right angle ones. I really recommend getting at least some right angle air impact, because these things can reach into really stupid tight spaces and they'll just work on super weird things. Like I had a dump trailer from the dump basically, and I just couldn't get, you know, a full-size 1/2 inch in there, but this thing fit in there and it got it. You know, Mac diffs, sometimes they got those stupid ones that are down and inside the 12 points. You all have no idea what I'm talking about. But yeah. And then I've got the big nasty air hammer, you know, 498 shank. Still need to get some of those really long bits, would definitely be worth getting. Just a plain old IR long barrel. And then I've got the Milwaukee grease gun. Milwaukee's just my flavor, and it was the only brand that I was willing to get because, in my opinion, even the Snap-on stuff with my student discount was way too much. And I had plenty of time to wait for good deals on Milwaukee stuff from the Gear Wrench truck, so, just get that. I got the hacksaw from Milwaukee. Everybody's all raving about it, but in my opinion, I prefer just a plain recip saw, but it will definitely get into some places better than a recip saw, so however you like it. This is just a homemade testing kit, seen one, seen them all. And then this is the ABN brake tool kit, and I don't know why, but like every other brake tool kit does not come with, the brake drum brake stuff, and like the turning tools for the calipers that turn in. I only have a couple of things with drum brakes, but I've had a couple of buddies use, the turn-in styles for like the new Fords or GMs. Got the big old rigid pipe wrench. Not the biggest one. The biggest one's is $400, so I'll let the shop pay for that. Old used Kingpin that I used as just a massive drift hammer, basically, or punch. And then chain wrench for when stuff really doesn't want to come off, and then a big old strap wrench that you can put on just a half. It's just a half-inch drive, so that's nice. And then I've got Craftsman, Pittsburgh, Tecton, all the way from 1 inch up to 2 inch, all the sizes. I just bought the Pittsburgh kit and the Craftsman kit, and then I just bought some individual Tectons to fill in the gaps. I ended up accidentally buying 2 7-inch and 7/16. Someone's you're gonna have that one time maybe eventually at some point in your life where you need the 2 of them. Unlikely, but who knows. Then I've got sort of the mismatch ratchet drawer. This is that 3/4 set Tecton ratchet. I mean, ABN sells the same one, and they're just rebranded, so it doesn't matter. I've got, the snap-on 1/2-inch non-flex head. With the student discount, I say, it's worth it to get a couple just so that way you can, warranty them on the tool truck. But, obviously, spread out a little bit, get some Matcos. We had a gear wrench, no Matco guy at our stop, so I had some gear wrenches and more snap-on. And this is the Icon Stubby 3/8. I don't know. It works. I use it. It definitely gets used. Definitely would recommend getting a stubby 3/8 or 1/2-inch, but, whichever one's your flavor. And then I had a couple of, like, the Tecton ratchets and, 1/4, 3/8, 1/2. And, bit driver. I've never even used one in my life. Well, the 1/4-inch, And this is a Sunex ratchet that came with those stubbies, which I think is kind of cool. Just the design, but, whichever ratchet you like is your favorite ratchet. It don't matter. And just some breaker bars. I really only use this Pittsburgh 1/2-inch. Never broken it. Never, I've been standing on the end of it. Still works. And then I've got, obviously the 3/4 extension. And this is actually the 3/4 to 1/2 from Snap-on. And the reason I like these ones way more than any other ones is because they can just punch out a pin there, swap out the anvil right there for you. My guy always carried them on the truck with him because, sometimes you got to use that big 3/4 torque wrench to torque those U-bolts to like 300, 400, 500 foot-pounds, or head bolts. And, this is the only thing that can handle them when they're, only like an inch big. So, just random extensions, Craftsman, Tecton. It don't matter. I know some people are very big on, it's got to be super neat, only want a certain amount. But, sometimes it's, I need, this 6-inch plus this 3-inch plus this adapter. Sometimes you just get into those sticky situations. And then this will eventually be an electrical drawer, just some consumables, butt connectors, fuses. And then this is for like RVs to test the pins on them, so it'll just flash whichever one you've got going. Or you can do 12-volt plugs as well as 4-pin, but I need this like 4-pin more often than not because they're just tucked up in the truck or car. And then just have the Diablo Steel Demon blades. I like the metal ones. The wood ones, they work. I feel like there was faster ones, but, whatever. And then I got the air saw because I saw it once, from somebody else using it. I was like, man, I got to get that. I'll use that all the time. and I've not even put a new blade in it, so yeah, I wouldn't waste your money on just an air saw. Just a plain recip saw is fine, or die grinder. And then this needle scaler, you'd actually be kind of surprised in like a heavy truck shop how useful this could be, knocking off massive chunks of rust all over the place, doing bushing eyes and whatnot on Hendrickson suspension and whatnot. And then, I got the ratchets, sort of a sucker for them, but I don't really like the ratchets, because they always torque out, and then they break your wrist, feels like. I like that right angle impact that they came out with, but not for $250 or whatever. Got the 1 horsepower snap-on die grinder. This thing is absolutely worth forking over the money for, and anytime you see a deal, you should definitely pick one of them up. They make the super long extended straight one, whichever flavor you like, high vis, gray, doesn't matter. Thor 1894. If you're not using this or like a Nitro Cat, I don't know what you're doing. I mean, you can port and swap your snap-on and then it's better, but stock, that thing will totally hammer out any MG 725 or 720, 700, doesn't matter. And then I got the 2 Milwaukee grinders. These things are absolutely perfect if you just got to run out, quick cut a jaw, cut a little piece of round stock, grind off a head. You're doing something small and easy and quick. These are worth your money, especially if you're a mobile mechanic or, mobile service tech. And then I just got a couple of Chief die grinders and the cutoff wheel. They work just fine. I don't really use them all the time, but, these, I don't think these, bearing sounds like it's going out in like the straight one. But, I mean, I've had them for like 2 years. Yeah, two or so years or so. So they're definitely worth their money. And then, I got the Surge Impact with the fuel drill. I mean, I feel like I really only need the Ryobi version. I'm going to start getting some Ryobi stuff. But, like, Milwaukee Impacts, I mean, I'm sure you will probably have all watched the Torque Test channel and whatnot. They're definitely worth their money for sure. I know, oh, I love the Makita flavor. The Makita flavor is better now. The DeWalt flavor is better now. But, like, the Stubby is, like, 2 or 3 years older than them, And plus you get a 5-year warranty on these and 3-year on the battery, whereas, I don't know fine details and whatnot, but DeWalt and Makita both only have a 3-year warranty, so whichever flavor you love, And then I got the air compressor, which, if you're inflating tires and whatnot, it's just fine. It'll burn through it. This thing burns up batteries quick, just the plain 5.0 batteries. That thing will burn up batteries quick, but it works. It does the job. Whatever you need, it can do it real quick. You can't really do a 1/2-inch impact grinders or anything like that, but it'll air up tires just fine, no problem. I like to just take it on quick jobs with me and whatnot. So, yeah, that's my toolbox. And I guess sort of as far as, like, any other gripes, I kind of wish, like, the side locker isn't full depth. I don't really complain about it too much because, when I go to work, when the box is at work, I just put, coveralls in there rather than stuff I keep at home. So it's just fine for me. But, that might be an issue for some people. And I know some people were saying that they didn't get an underhood light, but I just bought mine. Like, literally, I just got it yesterday, so. And it came with it. It works just fine. There's no need to go get it. It's not a magnetic one or anything, but yeah, it's fine. And it rolls out just fine. There's no issues with it. Some people were saying, delivery is a nightmare with this thing, but the only other complaint some people could have is, oh, it's got the 6 casters, It's got 6. That's not safe. There's no way that's a good sign, I don't know. If it works, it works. I don't know why you're complaining so much. I mean, this thing is huge. It's not moving anywhere. It's not made to be moved. You could, of course, take those 2 off, move them there, which I'm kind of debating doing, so that way you can just drive it into the wall and then slide it in instead of doing the shimmy where you move this side and that side, you weeble wobble it in. But I mean, realistically, for $1,400, I know it was going for 1,200 bucks. There's really not a better value for this box. You know, you're not going to get anything this size. And yes, it did come with all the drawer liners and a top mat. So, you know, the top mat's nice and thick. It's going to get chewed up anyway, but yeah. It would be nice if, I mean, you can take the magnets off. You don't really need them, but, you know, they're kind of in the way, so I'll probably take those off. And you do get, you know, 2 shelves, so that's nice. It'd be cool if they were pull out, like, you know, the Epics and whatnot, but you really can't complain. Yeah, they did give me, you know, a set of keys for each individual lock. And there's 3 locks separate, so I've got 6 keys. I know you can take them to Home Depot and get them all changed out, but for me, I don't have a need to lock my box, so no problems with that. So yeah, that's my toolbox. You know, paid like $15-20 after taxes and whatnot, and that's about all. Well, thank you for watching my first videos, and I hope to keep growing my toolbox. Just leave me a comment on what I should be doing to improve, and, you know, just trying to make my way in the world like everybody else. Thank you for watching. Bye.